Once upon a time, in a quaint little town nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, there lived a girl named Sarah. The town itself seemed frozen in time, with cobblestone streets that curved gently around old houses, wooden fences draped in ivy, and lamp posts that glowed softly at night like guardians of forgotten stories. Life in the town moved slowly, almost deliberately, as if everyone had agreed that there was no need to rush when beauty surrounded them on all sides. Sarah had lived in this town all her life. She knew every shortcut, every hidden bench in the park, every quiet corner of the library where sunlight streamed through tall windows in golden patterns. Yet despite knowing the town so well, Sarah often felt like an observer rather than a participant in its life. She was quiet, reserved, and thoughtful, someone who preferred the company of books over crowds and silence over noise. From a young age, Sarah had found solace in stories. Books were her refuge, her escape, her safest place. When the world felt overwhelming or confusing, she would retreat into pages filled with characters who felt more real to her than most people. She loved the smell of old paper, the sound of turning pages, and the way words could transport her to different worlds without ever requiring her to leave her room. While other children played loudly in the streets, Sarah could often be found sitting beneath the old oak tree in the park, a novel resting on her knees, her imagination drifting far beyond the small town she lived in. Her parents worried sometimes, wondering if she was lonely, but Sarah never felt alone. In her heart, she carried countless stories, countless lives. She had always believed that her life would remain this way, quiet, predictable, safe. She never expected that someone would come along and turn her carefully ordered world upside down. That someone was Alex. It was a bright and sunny afternoon when everything changed. The sky was a flawless blue, and the air carried the scent of freshly cut grass and blooming wildflowers. Sarah had decided to take a walk through the park near her house, her favorite place in town. She wasn't in a hurry, nor was she expecting anything unusual. She simply wanted to enjoy the gentle warmth of the sun and the comfort of familiar surroundings. As she followed the winding path through the park, she heard laughter echoing in the distance. It was loud, carefree, and full of life. Curious despite herself, Sarah glanced toward the sound and noticed a group of boys playing soccer in an open field nearby. They were shouting to one another, running across the grass, their movements full of energy and confidence. Among them was a boy who immediately caught her attention. He had tousled brown hair that fell effortlessly into his eyes and a smile so warm it seemed to light up his entire face. There was something magnetic about him, something that made it impossible to look away. Even from a distance, Sarah could sense his presence, as if he carried his own gravity. That boy was Alex. As he laughed with his friends and chased the ball across the field, Sarah felt a strange flutter in her chest. It was unfamiliar and unsettling, yet strangely pleasant. She told herself it was nothing, just curiosity, just a passing moment, but her heart seemed to disagree. Suddenly, as if guided by fate, Alex looked up. Their eyes met. For a brief second, the world seemed to stand still. The noise of the park faded away, and all Sarah could see was him. Alex smiled, not a careless grin, but a genuine one, as if he were smiling directly at her, as if he already knew her. The flutter in Sarah's chest turned into a rush of warmth that spread through her entire body. Embarrassed and overwhelmed by feelings she didn't yet understand, Sarah quickly looked away. Her cheeks burned as she lowered her gaze and hurried down the path, her heart pounding far too loudly for comfort. She didn't stop walking until she reached home. That evening, Sarah tried to read, but the words blurred together on the page. No matter how hard she focused, her thoughts kept drifting back to the boy in the park, the way he smiled, the way his laughter echoed, the way he had looked at her as if she mattered. She scolded herself for being foolish. She didn't even know him. He was probably just another boy passing through her life without noticing her at all. And yet, the memory of his smile lingered. That night, she dreamed of him. The next day, Sarah found herself returning to the park without fully understanding why. She told herself she simply wanted fresh air, but deep down, she hoped, quietly, desperately, that she might see him again. And she did. Alex was there once more, sitting on the grass with his friends, laughing and joking as if the world held no worries for him. The moment Sarah saw him, her heart skipped a beat. She considered turning back. Approaching someone like him felt impossible. He was confident, outgoing, surrounded by people. She was shy, quiet, and unsure of herself. But something inside her urged her forward. Taking a deep breath, Sarah walked toward him, each step feeling heavier than the last. When she finally reached him, her voice trembled as she spoke. "Hi." Alex looked up, surprised for only a moment before smiling again, that same warm, unforgettable smile. "Hey," he said. "I'm Alex." "I'm Sarah," she replied softly. And just like that, a conversation began. What started as a simple greeting soon turned into something more. They talked about school, about their favorite places in town, about music and movies and dreams. Sarah was amazed by how easy it felt to talk to him. With Alex, she didn't feel judged or overlooked. He listened, truly listened, as if every word she said mattered. Alex, in turn, was fascinated by Sarah's quiet depth. He admired her love for books, the way her eyes lit up when she spoke about stories, the thoughtful way she saw the world. She was unlike anyone he had ever known. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into something that felt like magic. They met often, at the park, at the cafe near the library, on long walks through town. They shared laughter, secrets, and dreams. Sarah slowly came out of her shell, discovering parts of herself she hadn't known existed. Alex encouraged her, believed in her, made her feel seen. But as her feelings for Alex grew stronger, so did her fears. Sarah couldn't ignore the voice in her head that whispered doubts late at night. She saw how easily Alex moved through the world, how people gravitated toward him, how comfortable he was in his own skin. Compared to him, she felt small and ordinary. She worried that she wasn't enough. What if he only saw her as a friend? What if he realized she was too quiet, too serious, too different? Despite their closeness, Sarah kept her feelings hidden, afraid that confessing them might ruin everything. Until one quiet afternoon by the lake. They were sitting on a weathered wooden bench overlooking the water, the sun casting golden reflections across the surface. The air was calm, and the moment felt fragile, as if it could shatter with a single wrong word. Sarah's heart raced as she turned toward Alex. "Alex," she said softly, her hands trembling, "there's something I need to tell you." He looked at her, concern flickering across his face. "What is it?" Taking a deep breath, Sarah spoke the words she had been holding inside for so long. "I think I'm in love with you." For a moment, time stood still. Alex stared at her, silent and unreadable. Sarah's chest tightened, and regret washed over her. She braced herself for rejection, for the loss of the one person who had come to mean so much to her. Then Alex smiled. He reached for her hand and squeezed it gently. "Sarah," he said softly, "I've been waiting for you to say that." Her breath caught. "I love you too." Tears filled Sarah's eyes as relief and joy flooded her heart. In that moment, every fear she had ever held melted away. They leaned toward each other, sharing a tender kiss beneath the fading sunlight, a promise sealed in silence. From that day forward, they were inseparable. They explored every corner of the town, shared late-night conversations under starlit skies, and dreamed of a future filled with endless possibilities. With Alex, Sarah felt brave. With Sarah, Alex felt grounded. But life, as it often does, had other plans. As summer turned to fall, Alex revealed news that shattered their perfect world. His family was moving. Miles away. Sarah felt her heart break at the thought of losing him. The days that followed were filled with bittersweet moments. Laughter mixed with tears, joy shadowed by sorrow. Still, they promised to stay strong. And when the day came for Alex to leave, Sarah stood at the bus stop, holding him as tightly as she could. "I'll come back for you," he whispered. "I promise." With one final kiss, he boarded the bus. And Sarah watched him disappear. Years passed. Life moved on, but love remained. Sarah grew older, wiser, stronger. She pursued her dreams, inspired by the love that had once changed her life. Yet no matter how much time passed, Alex remained in her heart. Until one day, in a bookstore, she saw his name on the cover of a novel. And as she read his words, she realized that some loves never fade. They simply live on, between pages, across distances, and within the heart forever. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.